Hi and welcome to another clearing video. Similarly to my last upload, this one is all about going through clearing because you've decided you'd like to go to a different uni. So what uni did you apply for first that you had your unconditional for?
The University of Staffordshire. And I changed my mind last minute because, like, at first I was like, I just want to go far away from my home, just far away as possible, let's go. And then as the time got closer, I was like, I really don't actually want to do that. And I don't know why I've done it like that, but I'd already accepted my unconditional for there. And my mindset was already in the, I've got an unconditional, so I didn't try, which is not good. But like I remember when everyone was rising up like, oh, I've got an unconditional, it's fine.
Right, what did you end up going for in the end?
Events management, yeah. So I
Yeah.
did that. That was what I was doing at Staffordshire as well. Um, and I remember like I was like, no way I want to go to Canterbury. It's too close. But because I moved away anyway, like it's not really that big a difference. It was nice to just be able to come home, like if I wanted to. But yeah, I ended up doing the same degree. I ended up getting a first. That's the thing. I did so bad in my A levels, but then I did a degree that I enjoyed and like it was different, and I ended up getting a first. And I love that that can happen. Like I feel like everyone thinks if you go through clearing like you didn't get your grades and it's like
Yeah.
really like bad, and I did really badly at my A levels, like really bad. I got a D in philosophy, an E in German, and a U in maths. I had my extended project, which was a B. I thought I had an unconditional, well, I did, but then I just changed my mind last minute and was like, don't want to go there anymore. Uh, like, and my mum was like stressed. She was like, "You haven't done very well. You're not going to get in anywhere." But I rang up the University of East London, I think, first, and they were like, "We'll accept you, but you have to do a foundation year." Which I was like, "Okay, worst comes to worst, I'll do that." And then I literally rung Canterbury, and they were like, "Yeah, that's fine. We'll have you. We'll take you." And I was so surprised. I thought anywhere I go, I'm gonna have to do a foundation year because I literally only have two A levels, and they're rubbish. I did really bad in my AS exams, and then I paid to do all of my AS exams again when I did my A levels, and I still did bad in all of them. On results day, like I went and obviously I opened my thing and I had DEU, and I was like, oh. Uh, and that's when my mum was like, "Oh my god," because that's I'd like decided like the week before results day that I didn't want to go there anymore. So I still hadn't put anything in. Yeah, and I texted my mum like, "Oh, I've got a DE and a U," and she was like, "You better get cool in places." Um, the only scary thing about it is you have to cancel your offer before you can go through clearing. I think that's it's a bit like a game show like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to choose. I thought they should like. I think that's so risky being like, oh, you have to cancel your offer before you ring up anywhere. Like, why do they do that? They should let you ring up and see your other options. But no, they were like, yeah, you have to. So it was really risky being like, yep, I'll cancel my unconditional. Might not even get into any unis. Um, but luckily, yeah, Canterbury Christchurch were like, yes, we'll have you. Like, if when I look back at it, I'm like, they t- teachers do get in your head a bit about how well you have to do, and like you don't like
They
it's
make
like
it seem like the
pressure.
end of the world, don't they? And you just get so like stressed about it. And I think that's what made me do worse than I should have done because I was so stressed about meeting my grades that my brain just fried. Like I just couldn't work anymore.
But like I think it's crazy that you could get grades like that and not have to do a foundation year. I don't think they talk about foundation years enough. That you can
No.
still get into uni like when you don't do well with a foundation year, just an extra year on top, and then you can get the same degree you wanted to get originally, just if you did a bit worse at your A levels.
At school they definitely don't talk through all the options. They just kind of give you kind of like the ideal option, kind of do well, get in first time, blah blah. But that doesn't work out all the time. How did you actually find when you were calling the unis that you were looking to apply to through clearing? How did you find that experience of getting through, speaking to advisors? Was it quite stressful or were people quite just generally friendly and helpful?
So they were really friendly on the phone. I mean, in like before I was ringing, I felt kind of like defeated. I kind of had it in my mind that I wasn't getting in anywhere without a foundation year. So I got the number up for East London, and they're really nice. They just ask you like your details and then what you got, then they could tell you straight away what they can offer you. So yeah, she said to me, we can offer you the degree, but you have to do a foundation year, and then you can like think about it. So I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And I hung up, and that's when I rang another place, and then obviously I had to ring and say I don't want that one. I didn't want that offer from London when I'd taken the one in Canterbury. I did have to wait, I think, because obviously it was results day, so everyone was ringing. I
Does
do
she
think
say
it's
that
my
to you?
extended project that helped me bring it up a bit, because that was a B. It was only half an A level, but I think it gave me a little bit on the edge. And
Yeah.
if I hadn't have gone through clearing, obviously you do it all like later. I would need to find my accommodation and everything. Not a lot of places were available anymore. Like the accommodation that I had looked at was I was with a load of girls who were doing midwifery because they were in a certain flat already, and maybe there wasn't any more midwifery students because they started their year earlier, so they were all already there, and so I got put in with them. But now I look back, I'm like, if I hadn't gone through clearing and I'd gone straight away, I would never have moved in with them, and I lived with them like my whole uni time.
Oh, that's
So
so nice.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was at like a massive disadvantage. And I know people that, you know, didn't go through clearing or going there originally and ended up hating who they were living with. And so it's really hit and miss. It's not like you're going to get like all the bad people if you join last.
That sounds like it was quite a good experience. Obviously, some people will have quite stressful experiences because I work on the clearing hotlines at uni, and when I did it after I just finished my first year, this one girl did phone up and she was like crying her eyes out. She was like so upset because she'd got much lower grades than she anticipated, and so she was just worried that she wasn't going to get into uni anywhere. But I mean, the good thing about clearing is that they do drop the entry requirements a lot because they obviously want
Massively,
like
yeah.
the course, like they want the money, they want the full lecture halls and stuff. And so there was people calling up really upset because they wanted to do law but they got like 3Ds, and I'm like, that's fine, you're fine, it's okay. So because it's just the grades just don't matter. I don't think they're a good representation of your ability to do that course at all, because
No,
a
I
lot of
don't think so at all.
people.
I think I ended up looking at the Canterbury entry requirements, and I think it was BBC. Uh, Obviously, like I didn't even get one C. I got a D, and like I didn't like I was nowhere near that. But like I think I was less stressed out because mine have been like my own accord. Like I hadn't not gotten my requirements into a uni. I think people get a lot more stressed out when like they haven't actually got their grades in, and then their uni like rejects them, and then they've got to go through clearing. Whereas mine was like my decision, so it was a bit like I just kind of accepted my fate. Like if I, you know, if I had to do a foundation, I had to because it was my own fault. But a lot of the time, unis will just accept you, even if you didn't get the grades they want, like, and you've applied.
Can you hear that noise?
Yeah, sorry, that's my dog.
Oh, I thought it was something in my room.
My friend was doing zoology at the University of Newcastle, and to do like that, she needed a B in biology, and she got a D. And she woke up that morning and thought, no, like I'm not going to get in, like that's fine. And she woke up to the text like, yeah, you've got in, and she thought, oh wow, I must have got a B. And she got in, and she didn't, like, but they'd let her in because they want to fill the spaces, and they don't get money unless they fill the spaces. But, like, unless you're going to go to like Oxford, which is obviously like another ball game, or you're going to do something like medicine or something like that really needs the grades, they're very relaxed. And like yeah, like you said, like no one really knows, and it should be more like public that, you know, don't worry if you don't get the grades, because the teachers definitely never said that to us.
Because how well you do in A levels will definitely not determine how well you do later on.
Well, everyone always said all you need GCSEs is like to get into sixth form, and then all you need sixth form for is to get into uni, and then all that matters is your degree. Like, and
Yeah.
sometimes people even look back, like employers will look back at your GCSEs to check like what you did in like maths, English, and things like that.
Do you remember Mr. Holden? Because I just remember he kind of knew that I was trying really hard, but I was just destined to not understand anything in A level
It was
maths.
impossible.
Because I would go to all of his after school sessions for like extra help, and he wrote in my report, I can tell she's putting in the effort, but she's not quite making it.
Oh, he knew I was putting in no effort. He sat down with me. He's like, "Do you understand that if you keep not trying, you will fail?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, Okay.
If you were to speak to someone who is waiting for their results this month, what would you say to them in terms of the prospect of potentially having to go through clearing, especially because I think this year a lot of people might end up going through that route because of the whole exams cancelled and using like their mock results and things. Like it's not going to be a fair representation of what people should actually have got.
Yeah, I've actually been talking to my cousin because she's in sixth form. She's waiting for her results. I think it's Thursday that they get them. And she said she's gonna have to go through clearing. And like I said to her, like, don't worry about it. I mean, they're gonna be even more worried because they have like literally no clue how they did. My cousin was saying to me, that she's a bit worried because she doesn't speak up much in class. Like she's just a quiet person. So like she doesn't can get involved in many discussions and things like that. So she was like, I think they're going to mark me down because of that, because they're marking you on discussions, which is crazy, isn't it? Because like you
Oh,
didn't even do the exam. Um,
yeah.
and yeah, she said she thinks she's going to have to go through clearing because of, you know, everything that's going on. And I literally just, you know, take your grades, and like they only get you to uni. Like take them, call your unis, and I would call, like, you can call as many as you want, like as many unis as you want. So like obviously I went for ones that are like close, but if you don't care about where you want to go, look for ones that had a bit lower grade boundaries, and like you can get in somewhere. Like you will get in somewhere. If I can get in, getting a D and an E, then like you will be able to get in somewhere. And like they will be want exactly like what you said, like they want the money and to fill the spaces as much as you want to get in there. And philosophy, I think I would have got better if we didn't do an actual exam. So it might benefit some people. Some people might do better than they actually like
Yeah, that's
thought, because even like you don't have to take the actual exam. Like Mr. Holden said about to you about like you really tried in maths. You might have got better in maths because he could see you like putting in the effort, and like you might have made it in the end. But like I said, for my people like my cousin, it's gonna be annoying because you're quiet, you don't contribute much. They're gonna think you don't have anything to say, but you do. Like, and you just have to kind of hope that your work speaks for itself. I think there's going to be less people going through clearing this year. Like, I think a lot of them are going to do way better than they're expecting. I mean, I know at my uni they were very like lenient, and they gave us more. Like, they gave us kind of a little boost because of Corona. So I don't know how they're going to be doing it for A levels, but hopefully they'll be a bit more lenient and give people like the benefit of the doubt.
then for the people that do go through clearing, whether that's because of the grade situation or because they've decided they want to change their uni, I completely appreciate how it can be quite nerve-wracking, but people are on the other end of the phone to help you at the end of the day. They don't want to call you up so they can make you feel more stressed. They kind of try and help you and make it as easy as possible, which I think is good.
No, yeah, it was definitely a very easy process. Like I thought it was going to be more complicated, like more waiting than there was, but they clearly have a lot of people on it, and so you wait for a little bit, but like people are there to help you. I think the most nerve-wracking bit is cancelling your offer.
Yeah.
If you've changed your mind, the most nerve-wracking bit is cancelling your offer because, like I said, it's literally a game show. Like it's a risk, and you're like, do I take it? Like, will I get in anywhere else? Like that was massive for me. Like, will I actually get in anywhere else? Especially because I had an unconditional. I was like guaranteed a place, and I rang up and was like, don't want it. Or I think it was on UCAS, you say you don't want it, and then you can start ringing clearing places.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being my second guest.
That's okay, I loved it. And I'll send it to my cousin because she can watch it because now she's scared of doing clearing.
So I'd like to say thank you to Holly for her input on her clearing experience, and I hope you found it useful.